Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And I want to talk about the importance of disclosure in romantic relationships, loving relationships. When people decide to be together and having, some kind of conclusive or actual measurable agreement to that end, knowing whether you're together or not together becomes very important. And what I mean by disclosure is having communication about it and, like I said, an agreement of some sort. The reason why this is important is because sometimes when the lines around a relationship or between a relationship are blurry, people get hurt or are surprised or confused with unexpected behaviors or decisions by another person. This is especially true with sometimes online meetings where you might, associate with somebody through a platform or a service, and without an agreement, without some kind of commitment in writing or verbally, or at least mutually acknowledged with a boundary, you might find yourself in an awkward situation where you missed an opportunity, or you just thought something that wasn't necessarily true, or got ahead of yourself. So personally, for me, and I will speak personally, my preferred way of doing things with other people, especially with romance, is to be a little bit hesitant and reluctant to assume things as far as commitment, involvement, interest, that kind of thing, until the person is physically present at least once, right? So do you even know if a person's not AI generated? As an aside, in this day and age, I mean, you can't honestly say for sure 100%. You might have a pretty good idea, but point is, until you actually touch the person in flesh, see them face to face, and communicate with them on a one-to-one basis, you don't actually know that person. You can't say that you know that person, and you shouldn't have expectations as far as permanency or commitment or fidelity, exclusivity, and it just pays to be a little bit reserved in this regard, I think. And there's also something to be said for assuming the success, assuming some kind of commitment in the future, keeping open to that possibility, but not before it's actually there, not before the bridge is actually present. You don't cross a bridge before you come to it, as they say. So it keeps your heart safe, honestly. With experience, people might call you callous. People might call you, unapproachable, or unemotional, unempathetic, insensitive. I mean, there's a whole bunch of words that go around, unfortunately, to describe people who are a little bit hesitant to jump into the emotional sack with somebody, if not the physical sack. It's called having a slow pulse, and it can be a sign, actually, of a keeper, a sign of somebody who is very committed, very loyal, and very honest, very dependable. And I think that also connected to the subject, there's this attitude that being overly kind and dependable is a weakness, and I think people are looking at this wrong. If you think that, or if you say that, kindness is not weakness. Don't mistake kindness for weakness. Being kind to women, being sensitive to women especially, is it may not be something that you're taught is admirable or advisable, recommended, but there are women out there who, especially after they've learned what it's like to be with an asshole, pardon the expression, they learn eventually that dependable, consistent, kind men are actually where it's at. They don't always start out there, right? And if it's sport fucking, pardon the expression again, if it's just you're trying to bang people and just get laid, I'm not even talking about that. That's not love at all. That's not what I'm referring to in this video whatsoever. I'm talking about actual romantic interest, something where people expect to stay together and enjoy each other's quality time, with sex as the centerpiece, maybe, or just nice to have kind of thing. But young people, unfortunately, I don't want to go on and on, but I will also include myself in this because I was young as well at one point. They learned the hard way that there's a lot of bad advice out there. A lot of bad advice that girls want the bad guy. And sometimes girls start to believe this themselves until they actually figure out what the bad guy is all about. It's mostly an illusion, and then when you dig past the surface, you find some really nasty stuff. unsupportable stuff that you don't want to be around because it doesn't work out. If they're willing to lie for you, if they're willing to be a bad guy for you, they will just as quickly be a bad guy to you. So, mature women are more often than not, I think, attracted to stability, kindness, honesty, integrity, capability, confidence, all that stuff. But I think that it starts to fall off at some point that women are, attracted to the outlaw. What do I know? But not all women. I don't want to speak for all women. Everybody's different. To each their own, right? In conclusion, my preference as far as meeting people, I have no preference. I have no expectations. And that's the whole point of this video. I don't have expectations until at which point there's something to expect, until at which point there's a meeting, an acknowledgement of a commitment. Are we going out? Are we not going out? Until we are, there's no requirements. There's no jurisdiction. There's no rules whatsoever. And hopefully there's no bad feelings, no hard feelings, right? So reach out, if you like, with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. And keep your eyes open for future opportunities.